Hi, welcome to Chapter 11. I'm Paul Tilley, and I'm going to lead you through this chapter today. Chapter 11 flows from Chapter 10. Chapter 10 looked at bringing new products to the market. Chapter 11 says, okay, now we brought them to the market, how can we make them live as long as possible? Similar to our own lives, products have a lifespan, or we call it a life cycle. The life cycle starts at an introduction phase, moves through where products grow and grow in terms of sale, the growth phase. Then they reach what's called a maturity, which is the point of maximum sales, and then the product tends to decline and eventually disappear from the marketplace. So it follows this hump type process, which is an introduction, a growth, a maturity, and a decline. So if we look at products going through that, what happens at each of those stages? Let's take a look first at the introduction stage. At the introduction stage, product is introduced brand new. People have to get used to it. It's not selling a lot because people are not that familiar with it. So it's costing the company a lot of money in the introduction phase. They have to market it, they have to make people aware of it, they have to get people interested in trying it. Usually it has a high or a very low price in order to get people to try it. And the point of the advertising at this point is just to make people darn aware of this thing and get people in the door to take a look at it. Once people start buying it, you're going to see the product grow, and sales grow, and at that point the product is becoming bigger in the marketplace. Sales and profits sales are going up and profits actually start to happen. But also competitors start attracting it, get attracted to the market because they see an opportunity to make some money. So our advertising then shifts from informational advertising to differential advertising. So let's say, for example, we have a new product and a competitor's product comes into the market at the same time. We got to be able to differentiate our product from their product. So our advertising shifts. Also, we see some price changing in the product. It either reduces if it started out high, or potentially it could go up because more and more people are buying it and it's more aware, so they can charge more for it. So you're going to see it available in more stores, you're going to see it available in more places, you're going to see more people with it. It's a great time to be a product in the growth stage because you're starting to make money and you have that relative newness. As the growth stage moves along, we move into what's called product maturity. And in product maturity, products have been on the market for a while, they might be getting a little long in the tooth, but they're from a manufacturer point of view, they're what's called a cash cow. They can sell very well without a lot of advertising. So sales and profits at this point are maximized. People are buying possibly their second or third unit of this if it's a long-lived product. Competitors, there's all kinds of competitors in the marketplace. We have to differentiate ours from theirs. And usually only the strongest competitors survive, so we could see some start falling out of the marketplace at this point in time. And the product is available at this point everywhere. You can generally find it everywhere. As products move along, more and more competitors come onto the market. It gets long in the tooth. People get tired of it. New products, these sorts of things. We move into what's called the decline stage. And at the decline stage, sales start to drop off. And when sales start to drop off, companies have to make some decisions. What do we do with the product? Do we make money on it and just let it go, which is known as harvesting? Do we come up with a new product to replace it, which starts the process all over again, and then we have to delete that product, get rid of it? Or do we give it to someone else and say, let's sell it off and let someone else make it? So we have some choices. Very little promotion or advertising is done in the decline stage. The thing is there, we got the product on life support, we're making money on it, and as long as we continue to make money on it, we'll probably keep it. We then say to ourselves, we have done as much as we can with the product, let's move on. Now, that's the life cycle process, but if we look at a consumer, what makes a consumer buy a product? When does a consumer actually buy? If we look at it, there's probably 3 or 4 different types of consumers out there. There's very early adopters or innovators. These people buy a product when it's brand new. They're willing to pay the higher price. They want the newness of it. They want to be the first on their block with it. These are innovators. They constitute a very small portion, like 2% of society. Then we move into what's called early adopters. Early adopters buy the product fairly quickly off the gate. It's a higher price. They're willing to pay that. They're usually more well off. They constitute about 13% of the population. In the middle, we have what's called the majority, an early majority before the average customer buys and a late majority just after the average. But it makes about 67% of the product marketing. Right there, that's when the product sells well at most, and these majority. And then we have what's called the laggards, which are the last 16% that usually buy it just as the product is rich in decline, because they don't have a lot of faith in the product, or they're not familiar with the product, or they don't like buying new things. So if you look at it, studies have shown that most buying behavior follows that basic process. In terms of keeping the product alive, then what can we do? Things like branding does a good job at maintaining a good, strong life cycle for the product, because people like brand names and they can associate quality and they infer certain things based on brand. So a good brand helps extend the life of the product. We also think about if we don't choose to continue the product, we can license it, get someone else to make it. So that's another alternative that we have. The packaging of a product also makes a big deal with regards to its lifestyle. We could say, okay, it has a nice shiny package, a good sturdy package, a proper package. That does a good job at extending the life. So these are sorts of things that come along that we should look at in order to extend the life cycle. I hope you have fun reading this chapter. If you have any questions, let me know.